Good morning, Facebook. This is Blabbing for Britain, episode 64. It's Thursday, it's 10 o'clock. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning, sir.
Now, you had an excellent show on Monday night. Could you like to talk about it?
Yes, I knew the guy that would come on would be just an ideal candidate for coming on the show. I'll tell you why. He took it seriously.
Right.
He was representing his business and he knew what it means to him. And I've got to say, no offense, he was the most ready guest I've had. We put out this stuff earlier to him. But even he got caught out with Wi-Fi. I've told him, no, he said, I've got brilliant Wi-Fi. Doesn't matter. If you get hardwire, you've really got to do hardwire. So it was very engaging. I had a couple of good comments after it as well. And he's going back to look into it to actually put answers to a question that came in as well. Now, the other thing I learned from that show was preparation before, getting an audience out there. So one of the things we're all going to have to do for our shows is get a list made. Get a list. Now, I actually know a guy that talks about making lists, and I'll maybe see if he'll come on my show one day. He probably will. And it was all about preparation. It's like cooking a meal when you do a show. You've got to get your main ingredient, which is the guest. But you've also, if you can, if you burn your roast, you've got to have something else to put out on the plate. So maybe you have a second guest on standby that week, because it has happened to me. So preparation, and what do I mean by the preparation of it? Make sure your guest knows what he's got to do before they come on camera. Make sure that they tell all their friends that they're going on camera. And as you know, that night, there was quite a few people looked at the video, got views. And so it's also about telling your guests or your potential viewers what's happening, you know. So he was a very good guest. I couldn't have asked for better for Edward, and I'll probably get him back on again. Because you think that it's just like a TV advert. No, if Coca-Cola stops putting out their adverts, you know, why do they still do it? So, I mean, I'll get repeat guests later on. Hi, John.
Hello.
Yeah, so that was it was a good learning curve. Very happy with it. Just got to get the technology right now. You know, make sure it's super duper. Hence, I'm getting a new router put in.
Brilliant. Yeah. Because I mean, the show on Monday night had an interactive audience, and we looked at the figures afterwards, and 80% of the people who watched are in Scotland, which is a result, isn't it?
Yeah, it was probably all my local people in Aberdeen, because Edward's a guy that's very well known in Aberdeen. He gets himself out there, and so he knows people, and so it's between you pushing who you know and they're pushing who they know, and it should. People will come on because they like people to support them, and I think our artists will do well. Now I've boosted it.
Well, that's that. Just a moment. I need to change the layout. This is the live video. Just a minute. I just want to take that off there and put myself there. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, because it was a successful post to start with, attracting a large audience. And if you're boosting it, then it'd be interesting to see what it is, because you included in there a link to next week's show. So hopefully there should be a good feed into the audience on Monday.
Yeah.
Good morning, John. Just to prove that you are live on camera, the floor is yours, sir.
Oh, I don't quite know what happened. I wonder if the problem is because I came into the room before the producer, that you can't be brought on stage.
I don't know. Right. Okay. So you were here way before 10 o'clock then?
Came in at about 9:56. Yeah.
Oh, right. Well, I was here at 9:50. I didn't actually appear on camera, but I don't know. But anyway, you're here now. And just in deference to Peter, do we want to talk? Right. Okay. David, thanks for joining us, and back to your workout at the gym, and see you later, my friend. Right, so that's from David.
He must be the only person on earth that goes to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, no, that's quite a big thing up here, actually. I've just got to tell you, it's absolutely pouring a snow in Aberdeen. Looking out my window just now.
Snow?
Oh.
All right.
Let it snow, let it snow.
No, yes, okay. We've got 80-mile-an-hour winds at the moment, and Christmas trees flying through the air. You know when you take down your Christmas tree and you put it in the front garden and say that's going down the tip next week, and you forget to do it? Well, somebody did, and it just flew across the road this morning. So it's very windy down here, and I'd like to say hello to Shafiq. Shafiq, nice to see you. And Shafiq is saying hello to us. Right, okay. Passing reference to football then. We lost at the weekend. We lost badly. But it went to the best team on the day. I mean, that's the thing about the FA Cup, John, isn't it? You can't legislate for it. It's just the best team on the day.
Beaten by a load of imps.
Okay. I wish Lincoln...
I can't talk. My team's near the bottom of the second division. Well, sorry, I'm living in the past, aren't I? The championship. So what have I got to say, really? I'm thinking of becoming a Baggies fan.
Oh, no.
My brother's always been a Baggies fan, so... And my brother-in-law is a Baggies fan as well. So I'm thinking of joining them.
Right. Well, I just had to... I normally don't start broadcasting until 10 o'clock, but as Peter knows, I started broadcasting at 9 o'clock.
I watched as well.
Oh, good. Thank you, John. Well, you watched... I thank you for that. Hoden came on BeLive.tv and her first broadcast had 34,000 viewers, and I thought there's something in this, and I listened to it, and she's very good. She is very, very good. She's been doing it far longer than we have. She's professionally trained. And then I looked at her YouTube channel, and one of her YouTube videos has got 250,000 views. I thought there's something in this, so I had a chat with her this morning. I'm looking forward to watching the replay and to learning something as well. But she is a joy to chat with, and the time just disappeared totally. So I enjoyed that. Much in a way as I enjoy being on Blabbing for Britain every Thursday at 10 o'clock. Now, what's been happening this week? What should we be thinking about, Peter?
Oh, mine's is usually political, so I'll let you come up with something else.
Mine was going to be political. £51 billion exit fee for Brexit.
Who's going to force us to pay it?
Well, if all our banks move over there, Peter, they'd better rob them quickly, won't they? I don't know. I mean, there has to be a cost. It makes sense that there is a cost. The estimates vary there, don't they, John?
Well, Juncker said yesterday it's 56 euros, sorry, not pounds, 51 billion euros, and we'll be still paying in 2023 because the commitments we've already made.
Well, that's it. If you make a contract, then you've got to go to the end of the contract, haven't you? And when these contracts were made, there was no thought of our leaving in 2019. So,
Hey, listen, folks, it's happening. We're going now. So whatever happens, happens. But we'll just have to deal with it. But I'll tell you what, Europe is getting worried. That's their problem. The nice little cozy little thing over there is collapsing in front of them. It's going to get worse before it gets better. And dare they punish us? Dare they punish us? They won't. They know where their bread's buttered. Are you hearing, Germany? We'll go and get Japanese motors instead of BMWs. There you go.
I've got that may well happen. I mean, obviously, our buying patterns have to change if we're going to be importing more from.
A lot of our Japanese cars are made in Sunderland and Derby, so why not? Let's say he drives a French car, but never mind.
Hello. So it might become a case of, you'll probably see campaigns like Buy British. Hey, listen, we have got in Aberdeen a Buy Local campaign. Buy Local campaign. Now, the thing is, we've got all our national. The nationals are putting so many people out of business in Aberdeen. You know, you'll see a local coffee shop, a lot of restaurants shut down. Okay, that's also because of the oil, I've got to tell you. But the national chains are opening and going into these boxes, and they're doing very well, and they're squeezing it. So we've got a campaign called Buy Local, and if possible, I go and buy local. I'll give you an example of that. I hire vehicles from a national one, and it's a flexi lease. I can hand them back tomorrow. And I've eventually found one guy in Aberdeen who's going to be doing the same. Well, I've encouraged him to do the same. Long-term hires with not the commitment to signing for a year and that. I says, if you get that, you'll probably get 3 vehicles from me. I'd love to give it to a local, even if it's the same price. And so that's what I'm doing. And anything I can do, I will now be buying local. Is that what you do in your area?
Insofar as Morrison's buy locally, yes. A little. It's very difficult. We have obviously small businesses, and we try to favour those when we can. And there have been various Buy British campaigns over the years, especially by the farmers. I think it's a good idea. I don't have a problem with it at all.
On this Buy British, you mentioned the word Buy British. I don't know if anybody saw, but there was an article about the BBC website, on the BBC website, at the beginning of the week, about having to change some of the recipe pages where the recipes used lamb, because they were described as British recipes, but they were using New Zealand lamb. So they've had to change the heading so they no longer say British recipe.
Yeah.
Made me laugh anyway. But silly things make me laugh anyway.
Well, we need to keep a sense of humour in these interesting times. It's only, I'm just informing you, it's 5 days to the Great Escape. Will take place in 5 days, when DEFRA do not extend the chicken restrictions, and our chickens can escape into the garden. And I tell you, I spoke to them yesterday, and they're looking forward to it because they want to be free-range hens. So,
we have 2 sets of chickens on our 200 plus allotments.
yeah.
One person has abided by the rules.
Yeah.
The other person has allowed access. The rules from DEFRA for the allotments say that they can be outside provided there is no access to the food. But these are what are posted up on the notice board at the allotment, provided there's no access to the food or water by wild birds. In other words, you've got to put a roof over the top. Yeah. One guy's put a net over the top. One guy's ignored it completely. The guy that ignored it completely has received a notice that if he doesn't fix it within 48 hours, his agreement will be terminated.
Or on the allotment.
On the allotment, yeah. Well, the council can do that.
Yeah. And I think DEFRA can take his chickens away.
Indeed, they can. I mean,
the sad thing is, he's one of the nicest guys you could meet.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a school teacher. You think he'd have more?
Well, that's what happens when people, don't stick to the rules. You'll always, it's never going to happen. Then when it happens and they find out, I didn't think it would happen. Well, here's the full weight of the law on top of you, sir. Because of that, everybody else suffers for the minority, always. Just stick to the rules. It's, gets to me. Hey, the other bit of news is, you might not believe this, but I'm trying to go like semi-vegetarian. Very hard. But no, I'm being quite serious.
Are you giving up meat?
Yes, because I'm trying to give up meat. Quite serious, because of my cholesterol. I'm trying to get better cholesterol. But it's not easy to think of what to eat. I feel sorry for these people, But no, I am making a concentrated effort to do that, to have a better health. Because I have to.
You're going to be eating corn from now on, are you?
I ate corn last night. I had sausage corn. Yeah, they were quite nice actually. But then just look at porridge first thing this morning, and then I'm going to look at just vegetarian.
Porridge is good for lowering your blood pressure anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, porridge is good. I mean, I'm lucky. I've got one of the best bowl of porridge makers in Aberdeen, and she's downstairs, but she's not made me a cup of coffee. I better not shout coffee down, because I'll shout back and I'll be so embarrassed.
Well, I'm sort of joining you. Look, I've got a banana. This is a late breakfast, a banana.
Okay, yeah. Very good.
I won't show you the fact that before it, though, there was a sausage roll.
No, John.
Oh dear.
How do you peel a banana? Pick it up and show me how you would peel a banana.
Well, funny enough, I normally do this, but I saw the other day that you're actually supposed to start at the other end. But
absolutely, because it's so easy. You take it and you nip it in the bud and you just peel it. And I seen a guy doing that in television once, and everybody was astounded.
I saw
everybody's trying to break open the back. It's so easy. You just nip it and peel it back in fours. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, I've got a phone call, so I better come back. Okay.
Right. Okay.
It's switch me off. Mute me.
Right. Okay, and we'll go back to a different layout. And I want to go over there. That's better.
That's it. Happy birthday for yesterday, Stephen.
Thank you, John. I had a great day. I decided, thank you, I decided yesterday to start training for them. Sarsen Trail, so I went for a 9-mile walk and felt a lot better for it. It's just really an MOT to make sure I can still do the Sarsen Trail later.
My reference to a pint of milk was that I didn't think at 10 o'clock in the morning we should be drinking Guinness.
Well, no, but I want to interpret it kindly. The German lesson last night was great fun because we had chocolates, which was good to celebrate. We had a German birthday celebration. So that's another year older, and I don't feel any older. I was told I don't look any older, which is good because it was only a day after I was a year younger. So
I've got a sad task to do tomorrow. At least I'm going to feel sad about it. I've got to hand the keys over from my mum and dad's home to someone new. Well, provided everything goes through today. You never know quite what's going to happen. But it'll mean the family home that I lived in for 20 odd years, that'll be the last contact with it. So bit of an eventful day, I think. I think it's going to be quite sad. I'm saying hoping everything goes all right because probate was very complicated because my parents died within, less than a month of each other. And I paid a lady to do all the work because it was just a massive task, and she's a professional and that. And I spoke to her on Monday and said, are we all right? Is it all going to happen this week? And she said, I hope so. But she said, I have 2 that are supposed to complete this week where, people have died and the probate is now selling it. And she said, and one of them collapsed this morning. And I said, oh dear, what happened? And she said, the buyer died.
Oh, right.
So, that is just, what do you do when that happens? If you've banked on the money coming in and all that sort of stuff, and you've got to start again from fresh, that must be funny. Sad for the poor person that died as well, and their family. But it just shows you that you just can't take anything for granted anymore in this day and age.
Okay.
So, Peter, did someone buy 66 million dead mice kills?
What was that?
Your phone call. I thought somebody just placed an order with you.
No, it was
mice.
My office. I outsource everything. I've got my bookkeeping service. They phoned me up and asked me.
Talking about killing your mice, your abakill your thing. There was a big thing locally here. A man was in a restaurant. Funny, it was his birthday with some friends. And one of them dropped their mobile phone. And this is a well-known chain. And when went to try and find it, it had slipped underneath the bench seat. So they were sitting at a bench seat and then other seats around the table. When they shone the lights of the other phones to see that, they found a rat in a trap underneath the seat.
Yes.
Which quite frightened them in the fact that they just finished their dinner.
You don't know what goes on behind the scenes until you drop your phone.
Yeah.
It's hey, listen, I could probably write a book about the things that have happened and the things that I've seen, and you could look at the poshest of places, and when you go in behind the scenes, it's totally different, you know. So yeah, it happens all over Britain, happens all the time. You just don't know it. Yeah.
Indeed. Right. A story from today's papers, which is good news for all of us, is that net immigration is down, and net migration is down to the lowest it's been for a while. So that seems quite
David?
because it quietens people.
Okie doke. I mean,
I don't know. Is it bad? Is it bad?
No, it's not that. It's just when I start looking around, I begin to realise just how much this country is dependent on immigrants to survive. I mean, there is no way any of my 3 local hospitals would work without the immigrants that run it on a, you know, on a daily basis. My milk, well, when it was delivered, we've stopped having it delivered, but the only guy that would do that was also an immigrant fella. So I don't know. I'm not convinced that all of this immigration is bad. On the other hand, I did see the article the other day about how the immigrants drive into Cambridge, walk the last mile to the city centre, and then beg for the day, and then walk back to their very nice car and drive home. Yeah. So I guess there are 2 sides to every story.
Yeah, well, that's a perennial thing, isn't it? That's the stories of that ilk, because people try to work the system.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very true.
There was people rather beg and work. There's one guy travels from Dundee up by train to Aberdeen every day, begs, makes his money, and goes back on the train again. And yet it's meant to be illegal to beg in the streets of Aberdeen. It's a bylaw. And they still let them do it. Shouldn't be happening. They encourage you to put money in a box to go to the local aid. And if they let it happen, it's always going to happen. There should be, hey, listen, they would find an old woman £80 for dropping a piece of litter. No problem. She would pay up. She would be scared. Anybody else would say, come on, you're not allowed here. Move on, or we'll fine you and we'll take your dog away from you. We'll put it in the pound. Because they've got dogs as well. They sit here with dogs and everything. It's not fair. Not fair.
Yeah, they've just the biggest overnight place where homeless can go in Birmingham has just agreed to take dogs as well overnight. So the dogs is quite a perennial thing. Apparently, some people were not bothering to go to the shelter because they couldn't take their dog in. So
yeah, that's right. I mean,
quite a prevalent thing with the homeless.
Yeah.
But they said it's because it's company. So
yeah, I can understand that.
I wouldn't do without my dog. She's lovely, you know.
I would be the same, and that's why some of them, they don't go to the houses they're offered, because they says, am I getting to take a dog? And they go, no. I said, well, I don't want your house. I'm going to sleep in the street. And that happens as well. So, Stephen, going for Britain. It's our friend, Stephen, getting in touch.
It is, yes. All right, okay. Just a message from Stephen. He is in sunny, breezy Nottingham. Have fun. We will. We're trying our best. Yeah, Nottingham. Where's that? It's near you, John. It's nearer you than me.
40 miles away.
About 40 miles.
Northeast.
So Peter's got snow.
Yeah.
I've got wind and rain. I've already been around the garden once picking up pots and things that have blown over, and they've all blown over again. So I'm not going to bother this time. I'm just going to leave them to lie on their side till the wind goes.
Can I just go back to the lady that you were on with and that other before you come on here?
Yeah.
What's her purpose of her shows?
Right. Basically, Hoden's been broadcasting on real TV for some time. She's trained, and then she discovered live video and YouTube Live. So she's on YouTube Live. She does shows on there.
Yeah.
And basically, if you watch one of her shows, you will see that each show is intercut with adverts.
Yes. Okay. Well,
Right. Real adverts, local adverts.
yes. Well, remember what I've done already. Remember what I say right put on the slide. So in the future, people will come on, and if it gets busy enough, their advert will go on too. You know, like it's a sponsored by, and so these people that come on and help me first, I'm giving them a slide which I've sent over to you, their website address, so that. But later on, hopefully, it'll build up like that. I want to go back to shows. I think you've got to have a show purpose. You've got to have a purpose to get people there. And here's something. Do you remember a guy, very right wing, John? I've forgotten his name. He was very right wing. He was on Sky TV, BBC. He was all the talk shows, and because he spoke his mind so much, he disappeared off the scene. They didn't take him on anymore. Do you know what he's done?
Nope.
He's set up a broadcasting station, a pod station, so it's not licensed, and it's called Talk to Me Radio, and he's on at 4 o'clock, and he's building up some people on there, and he gets all sorts of people on. So what he's done, like my show, it's a political type show, and because the mainstream media don't take him on anymore, they basically cut him off. He's went and he's set up an alternative way of doing it, and he's got somebody backing him, and he's even got people advertising. It's called Talk to Me Radio. Is that background noise from me? Yeah. So I forgot his name. John Gaunt's his name. John Gaunt, spelt the same way as you, John. Remember him?
No.
Oh, very, very political, leaning to the right, Brexiteer. But he does get both type of people on. He gets the lefties and he gets the right, and that. So it's quite interesting show, you know.
Yeah. Tish, is the sound better? All right, we'll wait for a reply from Tish. If you're watching live on Facebook, thank you. If you want to comment or you've got questions for myself, John, or Peter, then please ask them. And we'll talk about anything and everything. If you want to throw a subject at us. I've got that again. I got the thing they've fixed about the replay in your ears.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah. Right, okay. Not totally fixed. Right, now, you were talking about diet a moment ago, Peter, and there's a report come out today which says that we should be eating 10 a day. Now, when I say 10 a day, we should be eating 5 a day is the government's recommendation, and quite a lot of people have fallen in with that in terms of eating fruit and veg every day. What's our take on that? Should we eat 10 a day? Doesn't that seem, to me, that seems excessive. I mean, there's no room for meat and stuff.
Yeah. One of the problems I've got is people don't realise, being a diabetic, if you eat too much fruit, it's actually got its own sugar, fructose.
Yes.
And that can put me high. So I've actually got to watch the fruit I eat now, you know. Now, if I eat a banana and there's 6 bananas there, I'll have them all because I love them. So I've got to watch the fruit I eat. So it's more veg. So mushrooms, Brussels sprouts, green beans. You start looking at different veg and ways to cook it. And so I am enjoying a lot more veg now. Well, for it.
Oh yeah, I agree. I love fresh cooking and using the different vegetables. We are reliant on Morrison's and Lidl's for deciding what we can get. Unless, of course, John, we have an allotment.
Yeah, well, all my allotment is growing. He's tired looking at the moment. So I spent a bit of time there yesterday, funnily enough, having a bit of a clear up. So I've got some digging to do over the next couple of weeks, I think. And yours?
Right, I've got an admission to make. I'll make it live on air, John. I quit my allotment last year. I've decided I don't have green fingers, and all the time. So
I think I'm probably fortunate in that Celia likes the allotment as well.
Yeah.
When the weather's reasonable, she'll go down and she'll spend 2 or 3 hours down there, take the dog with her, and combine walking the dog with working on the allotment. So
yeah, I know now that you can't do it on one visit a week, one person doing 3 hours. It just doesn't. So I let the allotment go, and somebody else will have taken it over. But it was in the middle of a meadow. Well, it's surrounded by meadow, so it didn't take long for it to be taken over by nature. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? You're always fighting against nature.
Yeah.
With allotment.
I'm doing more raised beds this year to try and cater or fight nature, shall we say. I'm having to move my polytunnel from the back to the front of the large plot because it kept filling up with water that came out of the ground. And where that is, because there is stakes that were all the way around the edge of the around the inside of the polytunnel, I'm actually going to create a large 20-foot by 10-foot raised bed instead.
A lot of work there.
Fortunate that some bugger fly tipped a load of second-hand, knackered planks, to be honest.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Scaffolding, but fine for my raised bed on one of my clients' industrial estates. Not outside my clients, but outside somebody else they knew on the estate. So I went and knocked on the door and said, what are you doing with those? He said, they're a bloody pain in the arse. I said, can I have them? He said, you're going to take them away? He said, yes. He said, feel free. So I got 8 planks split and rotted at the ends, but absolutely perfect to make a raised bed with. And because they're 1.5 inches thick, they'll take a long time to rot off, you know.
Yeah, the case of
Peter's eyes are glazing over on this discussion of a lot.
Yeah, I was just doing something in face. I was looking at my talking at a page, but I was still listening.
When's the Talkinator on next, Peter? Can you just show details and who you're talking to?
I'm going to be talking to an artist, a lovely girl, and Sheila Swanson. And she's going to come on and we're going to get some pictures up that I've sent you. And I'm just going to talk about her journey that I've seen her doing. And you think, oh, how does everybody make their money? And she also does glass. She does. She's from way up by Wick, which is top north of Scotland. But she lives in Aberdeen. I've seen her open up a studio, shut it down. Now she's opened one beside the harbour in a place called Fitty, where all the fishermen used to live in. The little tiny houses. You would think they were for dwarfs. They would suit me quite well. And so I'm sure we'll get things from her. And she does a bit of speaking as well. So, but there again, it was quite interesting. She does speaking for other people, but she's a bit apprehensive of coming on a live camera like this.
Yeah,
it's quite. So that is the problem we've got of getting people onto camera, and I think I should make a course to get people saying why they should come on camera and get them up in Aberdeen because they're terrified.
That's a nice thing, Peter, because I just happen to have such a course.
All right.
Which it's time for the advert, folks.
All right.
Going live on Facebook for beginners is an A to Z of how you can go live on Facebook, and there are courses. There's a course on Udemy, and if you message me afterwards, I'll give you a coupon for the course, which will give you 75% off. But it does cover all the aspects of going live on Facebook. Thank you for the input.
I could get it as a white label.
Sorry, go.
White label. Do you know what that is?
I heard of white label software, yeah.
Yes. White label is that someone makes a course, someone buys it from them, but white label it in their name to run a course and things. You get that?
Oh, to run a course based on the course.
So he wants to sell your course in his name. I mean,
yeah, white label. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Speak to you about that later.
That's a thought. That's a thought.
Because that's what I tend to do. I have no time to sit and make courses. So I'll look at a course. In fact, I did make a Twitter course once, and there's a lot of work in it, isn't there? Yeah.
Oh, when I teach on, I have courses on Skillshare and on Udemy. If I'm doing a Skillshare course, I can think about it one day, produce it the next, and upload it on the third. So I can do a course in 3 days.
Can you?
Well, for the process is, my process is, I go into Google Slides, I create all the slides for the topics, I then create the videos to go with the slides, and then I load the videos and slides and additional text and Skillshare course you can do in 3 days. A Udemy course where the video is upwards of 2 hours long in nice edible chunks can take a week to 9 days. So there is a difference. There's a difference in quality as well. When I've been, if you'd like, we did our apprenticeship on Blab, learning how to be on live video.
Yeah.
Well, I did my course apprenticeship on Skillshare, and now where I've got to Udemy, it's a lot better. And if Ricky is watching, I'd just like to give Ricky a public acknowledgement, because I'm so glad that he took the course and gave a wonderful review. So it's going live on Facebook for beginners, and Ricky's comment was good. Right, what's happening in the Midlands, John?
Well, I think my tree's going to get blown down into my house looking out the window. Nothing very exciting seems to be happening, I'm afraid. The Villa get worse, can't even win. Nothing much more than that, I'm afraid, Stephen. Bit like Burnley, if you're in claret and blue, you're not doing well at the moment. Well, I know you're doing all right in the Premiership, but
we're all right in the Premiership.
Is Fraser here today?
Fraser is around, but he won't be appearing on air. That's all I can say.
Fraser,
I'll look at my phone then.
No, right. Okay, okay. So,
is it snowing in Edinburgh? Come on, Mr. Ramsey's out there, so he could tell us if it's.
I've got snow in Aberdeen.
If it's snowing in, I don't know.
I'm losing
Edinburgh.
Right, is everybody's signal okay?
Yeah, you've gone a bit hazy wazy.
You've got fuzzy.
Right, I'm going to change the screen back a moment, and I'm going to go off, and I shall be back in a moment.
You're all right now, you little.
Okay, so a mini me's fine, is it?
Well, it's because the big pixels that we were seeing before and how little pixels.
So when I go like that,
yeah, honestly, you're
I'm pixelated.
Yes, very pixelated.
Well, I guess I'll put you on the screen.
John's
just very hairy, yeah. When I watched the Talkinator the other day, and I looked at Peter, who was slightly different hair than he is at the moment, I thought, doesn't he look like Joe 90? Does anybody remember Joe 90?
Yeah.
Respond, Peter.
Listen, my life has been full of lookalikes between Louis Walsh, Frank Sinatra, George Clooney. There's even a guy in Aberdeen come up and walked up to me a few years ago, and he says, "Hey, you're such and such a local Aberdeen guy." And I says, "Well, before I answer, does he owe you any money?" So, but we've all got lookalikes. We've all got a lookalike somewhere in the world.
People think I look like Bill Oddie, but I don't think I look anything like Bill.
Oh, He was on last night in the television, Bill Oddie.
He was, yeah. That was quite an interesting show.
I do enjoy that show. That's the sort of thing I'd love to do, you know.
What was the show?
Right?
Right.
Love to go to India. That's a place I'd love to go. I love the hustle and bustle of it and the trains and wouldn't it be great?
I want to
like they've got cobras.
The little trains of the north.
Right. Okay. The Indian Railways.
Yeah.
I'll give to India. But the premise of the program is very straightforward, and as Peter said, it's could you retire to India? Now we always think of retiring. You can't hear me.
I can hear you perfectly.
Peter, can you hear me? You got feedback. Right, Peter's got a problem. We'll come back in a moment.
1, 2.
We can hear you.
It's back on. Says he can hear.
Right. Okay. Right. Can you hear us now, Peter?
Yeah. Do you know what's happened? These things have started to work, and all of a sudden.
It's a change in the weather. You don't believe me, do you? But our BBC iPlayer won't work in certain weather, and I know that to be true. And you're not going to tell me it's not. The weather does affect the signal, the internet signal. Right. The premise of the program was that you actually, instead of retiring to Spain or anywhere like that, you actually retire to India because it's very cheap to live.
All right.
Yeah. And so they were trying it out, and it was Bill Oddie and Lionel Blair and an actress out of Coronation Street. Do you want to carry on, Peter?
Yeah, and so the actor Lionel Blair, Bill Oddie, the woman that used to be on Coronation, Cheryl, I think her name is, and then who else is there? But what got to me was that they went on the second class, first class train sleeper. They got and it was so basic. But you know, us, they all loved it, and they were all stars. Oh, I'll tell you, the other guy with the blonde hair, we couldn't get over how much Nicholas was his name.
Paul Nicholas, yeah.
Paul Nicholas, we couldn't get over how much he did. But how was all these stars, well-known people, they were brought back down to earth with the basics of life in India and travelling. And you found out they've got all the ailments and they're just like you and me. They're real people. And her from the 3 Degrees, Sheila Fraser, isn't it? Yeah. And will I see you again? A lovely song. And it was fantastic. And it's just getting on and just traveling and seeing the real life in the tuk-tuks, fleeing about the streets, and it was absolutely brilliant. It's just, how I would love to do that. But people do that. People do their own blogs, and they get paid to go to hotels and things like that. I'm trying to get a girl on my show. She was overweight. She lost weight. She's only 25, and she has visited so many countries part-time. She's got an outdoor range that sponsor her now. She'll give her all the clothes. She's in Aberdeen, and she's done my bucket list. And what she hasn't done, I am so jealous of somebody at 25 having done so much. And she's just done that blog and goes all over the world. Still works, but any spare time, she's got stuff she sells it on eBay or whatever locally, and all the money, she says, right, that's paid for a flight. That's paid. Fantastic. Laura Lawson's her name, and I'll be able to hopefully get her on one day and tell you on a Monday night about the story. And I heard you mention that question earlier today as well, John. Stephen, how do you get your guests? It is really hard. You're only one guest away from the show not going on because they can't make it. You've just got to think of something else, very difficult.
That's true. Finding people can be difficult, but you look at you in a circle. But I got a bit worried this morning because it was 3 minutes to 9, then 2 minutes to 9, then 2 minutes past 9. And then Hoden appeared because there is a problem. If you go live from another platform, and you schedule time, if you're 10 minutes outside your scheduled time, the broadcast just doesn't go ahead. And by 9 minutes past 9, she had her lighting sorted out, and we're able to go live with just 1 minute to spare. That was, I think, fine. But finding guests can be difficult, and that's the way it is. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking about another show, a local show, a real local. Because incidentally, I'm going to be interviewing anybody that wants to come on over the UK. I don't care who it is, even the United States. No matter what country, I'll interview anybody to get that show going. Anyway, so I'm actually thinking, don't know, tell me what you think of this. You know I like my politics and things. I'm actually thinking of putting on a show on a Wednesday night where people love to come in and moan. So say there's a road problem in Aberdeen and you see them writing in about it and you hear them on the radio getting a chance to talk, and you've even get to ban people because they're such a pain in the butt. But if I had a show like that, but it would be difficult for me as the show host not to show my true feelings. I would have to be middle of the road, and I find that difficult.
Getting your questions right when you know what you want the answer to be. That's the thing. I think the word we're looking for here is slight bias.
Yes.
Right now, I just noticed, just as an intro to the next bit that I want to get to, is that as a motorist, unbelievably, according to the BBC, still driving with 62 points on his license.
I saw that. Wow.
That's incredible. 12 points is it, isn't it? You shouldn't drive.
Well, apparently there are 10,000 people driving with more than 12 points in the same article.
And the police know who they are.
Oh yeah.
And it's the magistrates, isn't it? They've got license to.
Flexibility is the word.
We've had bias and flexibility within a couple of moments. That's got to be a record. Right. My reason for mentioning motoring is that March 2nd is Don't Stream and Drive Day. And John and I and friends will be hosting Sergeant TCS on the Don't Stream and Drive Day campaign. So that's on March 2nd from about 10ish through to when we fall asleep, probably. And we'll be on Smiletime and on BeLive.tv.
Are we starting as Blabbing for Britain and then moving on?
That would be an excellent idea, wouldn't it? Yeah. So we'll start off on this show next week at 10 o'clock, and then we shall move forward throughout the day and promote Don't Stream and Drive. And I wish I need to type in a hashtag. Just talk for a moment while I do.
Yeah, there's a lot of people get away with the 12 points. You've got to have a good lawyer, and they know how to get. A lot of them get away because, as I said, if you take my license, I'll have to make 10 people.
Hardship is the usual reason that they don't.
Yes.
Don't. But it has to be hardship for another person, apparently, not for you yourself. So you can't say I'll lose my job. Apparently that's not considered a hardship. But if you say I'll lose my job and I won't be able to take my daughter to her remote school and I won't be able to pay the mortgage, so my family will get thrown out of home, that is hardship. Yes.
So it's all to do with that, and but you know people are at it, don't you? You know, so just one of the things.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a comment about me there? You showed your true feelings last week, Peter.
No, it's basically referring to last week's show, which didn't make it to the replay on YouTube. I did a bit of editing of last week's show, and we're not going to revisit it. But Tish said it was good video, and that's the sort of thing that happens from time to time.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well.
You mentioned that the police know who's got the points.
Yeah, hopefully.
I can actually tell you a little story that proves they really do know. I'm going back about 12 years when we had different next door neighbours. And my next door neighbour at the time got himself banned from driving. he was still over the limit the next morning when he was stopped by the police.
Yeah.
And one day, about 6 months into his 2-year ban, I'm outside my house talking to his wife, yeah. And I get in my car and I drive off, and I haven't gone 400 yards when I'm pulled over by PC Plod. And what had happened, they'd driven past, and I'd been talking to her on the pavement outside her house, and they'd assume I was him because they knew that the person at the address 48 had no license because he was banned. And then I'd got into the car and driven straight off.
Yeah.
And I'd been actually parked up to the pavement, not on my drive at the time I was talking to her. So they didn't know that I'd driven off from number 50. And they stopped me around the corner and said, can we just ask you a question? I said, of course you can. And they asked me who I was. And then when I gave them a completely different name, they just said, well, all we can say is we're sorry for stopping you. So they really do know what's going on.
But what you should have said is, can I ask you a question first? Why did you stop me, please? Because they've got to have a reason to stop you.
Yeah, well, I actually didn't object. So they don't live next door to me any longer, and I'll tell you, he was an absolute lout. So I was quite happy he got banned. So. I mean, get him sober. It was great, and we hired a little mini digger and both, dug out both drives and all that sort of stuff. But once he'd had a drink, he was terrible.
Well, I've been pulled over by the police once in Aberdeen. It's actually a 15-mile zone down at the beach, and this was during the night. I'd been working on a job, and I came around the corner, and I seen the lights at the back of me, and I went over, and I immediately went down to 15 because I usually do that there. The next thing, a blue light on, and I jumped out. He saw us, he said, "You're going a bit slow." I says, "It's 15 mile an hour, it's fine." And he says, "No, it's not." I says, "It is." He says, "You go and look back there." I says, "Listen, I come here every day for a coffee, and I know it's 50 mile an hour because I slow down for it." And he says, I says, "You were trying to get a drink driver, were you?" And he goes, "Well, we are looking out for them at the moment." I says, "Well, listen, I've got to, well, no, I'm in my 11th year with no alcohol whatsoever. I don't know if I've ever told you that. I don't touch alcohol at all." And so, yeah, I would report a drink.
Oh, you've gone. Oh, what's happened? Right, we've got
the gremlins back. Can everybody else hear that? John, can you hear things? John's gone. Hang on a minute. Peter, are you still good?
Yeah.
Right.
Cut that bit out at the end.
They are on the trail of it. They're trying to. Sorry, Peter, just a minute. They are trying to sort it out.
Right.
But obviously, I mean, this is live broadcasting. It's all beta technology, and occasionally things are going to go wrong. I mean, you were very lucky on Monday night that for the first 29 minutes it was perfect, wasn't it? And then you got the voice in your ears, and it basically you can work against that for a few moments, but it is very difficult. I've invited John back in. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now.
It just totally crashed for me. I had to refresh.
Right. Okay. You are now fine.
Probably mine that you could hear.
Yep. All right. Okay.
When it crashes, it restarts like 30 seconds behind.
I know, because when you come back in, if you're on camera or you've been on camera, you're anywhere near camera, you get the replay, and it knocks everything for six because it's difficult listening to yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, I spoke to the guy, I've forgotten his name now, that runs the office, Matt?
Matt, yeah.
I spoke to Matt about it on his show last week. And he said, we're not the only ones that have experienced it, basically.
Well, no, I think they've experienced it themselves, which is always good, because they do a show Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and as the match shows you were on, but Allegra has had it, and I think also one of the other members of staff had it. I'm going to invite Peter back in because we've lost Peter. I think that's the signal to tell us that we're coming up to the hour mark. I'm going to invite Peter back in. And Peter's invited. I'll wait a second, see him on camera. I think we've lost Aberdeen. Calling Aberdeen.
Must be the snow.
It could well be that we are weather affected. Oh, well, no, we're not. Hang on. Just a minute. Welcome back, Peter.
Hello, I just refreshed it, as John said. That
yeah.
Do you know, I'm finding in my shows as well, like Edward's the other day, it reaches about that near the end point, and then it all goes skew with. That's about half an hour stage.
Yeah. It does tend to know when you come into the end of your show, and it says, right, okay, it's time for you lads to go.
You've had enough of your,
no, disappear.
We've had enough of your money, our money.
Indeed.
I had a long chat with Matt from Smiletime the other day, and he's from Monterey, and he lives not far from Clint Eastwood, or he did. He's moved to LA now, but I said, oh, I've been to Monterey. I said, I've been to Cannery Row, and he said, oh, when did you go? And I said, 1983, and he said, I wasn't born then.
Where do you go from there, John? Yeah, okay. Dear, these youngsters, eh? Right, okay. And we're coming to the end of another Blabbing for Britain, episode 64. So it's time, we're not doing politics, but it's time for closing statements. So, Peter, if you want to do a shout out for your show on Monday.
Okay. Well, just to remind you, at the Talkinator, 7 o'clock on Monday night, I'll be talking to a local artist, and we'll be promoting her. And if you like some of our work, you can actually go to our website and buy some, I think. So buy from me from a wintry, snowy Aberdeen. See you next time.
Okay. And John?
Well, it's goodbye from me, goodbye from him, and goodbye from him, and goodbye from him. And I look forward to watching the Talkinator next Monday. And Stephen, I think you're on tomorrow as well, aren't you?
Ask Angelica, 2 o'clock.
Yep. And don't forget, don't stream and drive.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Right, we're all going to go.